Hello, hello. I'm the official name raider. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today we're looking at Mantine and the thing that I forgot exists, Mantyke, because baby evolutions are fucking stupid wastes of Pokedex space and bullshit like that. Alright, I'm gonna kind of go through these real quick. So, Manty, that sounds like a cartoon character. If it is, I've never heard of it. Don't really care. Ray is dumb. Manhunt, I understand where you're going with that, because Manta Ray or whatever, I don't fucking know. I don't really have an opinion on that. If you want to, sure, whatever. I just don't really care. And then Phantom Manta is probably the one of them that I like best, just because it just sounds silly, and I could totally believe that would be like a mascot for the soda brand if they ever wanted to. Alright, only fair we address this because I'm sure I'm going to see it 50 billion times. Steve Irwin. Go all the way or not at all. We've talked about this before. If you're going to say Irwin, you're going to make me think of the idiot kid from Billy and Mandy and not of Steve Irwin. We get it. There's a joke there. If you want to, that's fine. I don't exactly think he would find it very tasteful, but he's not exactly around to yell at you. I actually like Water Wings. That one's cute. That one's really good, actually. I'm going to remember that for the end. Because it works as like a flying type and just a cute little play on words, and it's a real thing. That one's good, and if you wanted to, you could use it for Pelipper as well, because it also works as water flying, but I really like it for Mantine. I'm going to go back up and acknowledge these two real quick. Kite, yeah, guess what the Pokedex says? It says it's the Kite Pokemon. Naming your Meowth cat isn't clever. You want to call it Kite Man? That's a little bit better, I guess. I mean, it's the equivalent of naming your Crobat Batman, where it's like a small step above being incredibly uncreative. Like, it's a solid 1 out of 10 instead of a 0, so, that's a small improvement. And then Pancake, Flapjack, I didn't really have anything to say about it, but I'm like, maybe someone else out there might enjoy it, so I'll acknowledge it for that, and that's about it. I want to acknowledge two things on here real quick. One, I'm very surprised that after 20 years, there's only 3 suggestions for Mantine. I really expected there to have been at least a full page, but whatever. We talked about naming them off of locations before, so I'm okay with Barbados. You want to do that? That's fine. You want to name it Washington, D.C.? That's fine. I don't care. Locations, I think they work decently well as nicknames. Okay, so I'm going to acknowledge Womantyke just because I imagine I'm going to see it on the Tumblr idiot if he's in the search results. I don't actually pay attention to what's there when I'm scrolling. I just kind of scroll and talk, and that's it. So, that's terrible. Like, negative 1 billion out of 10. I hate when you take something where it's like, oh, it's got man in the nickname, so let's feminize it. Like, that's not necessary. Just chill the fuck out. Blu-ray I kind of don't hate. Like, on the surface level, it's actually very, very stupid because you're describing it. But on the other hand, that's literally a type of media that, it's just funny for that. So, it works on 2 levels. On one hand, it could be either incredibly fucking retarded or, haha, I'm making a joke about, I'm going to still call them DVDs. DVDs or whatever. It works both ways. Okay, so we've reached the bottom, looked over everything, and do want to highlight real quick, right here. So my dumbass, usually before recording, makes sure that I at least have the spreadsheet open. I didn't. Luckily I found this, so I was able to get a tab open for it now. And also I usually check, is it down, to make sure it's safe to record. Apparently I wasn't thinking today, but it all worked out. So let's check the spreadsheet. I don't think there's a single soul on Earth who's going to understand that. I don't think anyone's going to be like, oh yeah, one of the 2 species of manta ray. They're going to be like, who the fuck's Alfred? And that's all they're going to think. Or they're going to think of, like, Batman, and that's it. I don't understand why people, they make these incredibly fucking long shot conclusions. They're like, yeah, everyone's going to understand this thing. And it's like, no. There's not a single human on the planet that would think that. Basil, it's short for basilisk. No, it's short for you're a dumbass. Anyway, I don't really feel like we saw too much. There was actually only 2 suggestions for Steve Irwin, which kind of surprised me, but there also wasn't just a whole lot of suggestions in general. My favorite out of them was Water Wings. I really think that one's cute, funny, and just it works very well with Mantine. I'm going to say almost exclusively to Mantine, but it's also just the kind of cute wordplay that I like. Phantom Manta was also funny. well, cute to me as well. But the one I personally use is named after the manta ray fight in Bayonetta 2, where it's called Insidious. That's the kind of stuff I also like because that's just a word, but it sounds like it's so much bigger than it actually is, and that's what I like. And because of stuff like that, I've looked through like the Bayonetta enemy archives just to see what other names I could use. And apparently there's another manta ray based enemy named Harmony, which is kind of funny because I feel like you could use that one for like Mantyke because Mantyke's all cute and stuff, so Harmony could fit Mantyke pretty well. But I like Insidious a lot more. I think it's really cool sounding and it works. The other really weird thing about Bayonetta names and enemies is the idea that all the enemies are just very weirdly shaped because it's hard to distinguish what the fuck they are. And also, Insidious was a major boss fight, so it kind of works out. But that's me personally. Any other ideas and suggestions you guys have, put them in the comments below. Let's talk about Mantine stuff. And give a thumbs up to the comments that you guys think are good.